This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Jaclyn Zukerman. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
Good. I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here, Angel. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure to connect with you. What part of the world are you in right now?
I am in Boston, Massachusetts.
All right. And which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history?
So I think we were connected originally through Bobby Carlton, through Innovation Women.
Which means you are a speaker. Tell us more, please.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm a speaker. I also built my entire business off of social media. So I have a magazine, a podcast. I also promote entrepreneurs, all walks of life, from startups to celebrities, and I get them in press and build their social media presence.
Oh my. No, you said the P word, which is podcaster, which means your family. Tell us about your podcast, please.
Exactly. So I started my podcast from my bedroom closet 5 years ago now. And I'm all about showcasing tomorrow's scene today. So what you don't know now, I'm like the first resource to release what's next to know about.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Thank you.
Well
yeah,
done.
Angel, we'll have to get you on my show.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm dancing in my chair. I'm dancing.
Love it.
So who did you learn this ability from to take things from seed to plant to tree?
Very good question. I think I'm just very driven. I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs, and my brother's one, and I grew up with him, like side by side, worked for him, and saw really how he built his business from scratch, and that was my motivation to really build my own. So that's how it started.
That's amazing. Now, doing things that you do takes a huge level of planning, a huge level of systemization. Who did you learn that from?
I really was self-taught, honestly. I was just so driven. So I would interview when I first I'm from New York originally, moved to Boston 5 years ago, and I knew I didn't want a corporate job. So I literally self-taught myself from YouTube and just researching on Google of how to, do invoices and set your business up for working with people, how to approach people online and all of this stuff. And that's how I built my business.
Which is very important, because it's one thing to have your podcast as a hobby, but to be able to monetize is so important in the business world,
Exactly.
which speaks to conversation on another level. Yeah. So for those that are listening, where's the best place for them to connect with you?
For sure. I'm reachable at NEXTonSCENE.com.
Wonderful. Now tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
Consistently, great question, Angel. Consistently over the last 3 years, I keep showing up. So I'm always picking days that I'm posting on social media. I'm constantly sharing my content, and I know that there's at least one person watching it at all times. You just have to keep showing up to different events, to different postings online. You just have to keep being available with your presence, and the right people will attract.
How does it make you feel, looking back from now to then, to see the work you've put in and the results that you've gotten?
Very good question. It's been really empowering, and to know that you can create your dream life. I mean, I literally just wrote a blog on this today. It's you just have to keep showing up and not giving up despite these bumps in the road that are thrown at you, because it's part of your journey and they're all lessons to be learned,
So just to someone that's listening out there, why they should stick to it, why they should continue, even though there are bumps on the road?
I think that you should continue it because it's your passion. If it doesn't feel like work and you're so in love with what you do every day, that's your calling. So if that's your calling, you have to keep going after it because it's meant to be for you. It just might not be in the right timing.
Love it. Amazing audience. You're hearing it live from a professional podcaster. Are you hearing the quality of those answers? It's which is so cool. All right, my friend. Well, let's switch gears for a moment. Let me now invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm blue Caribbean water. Jackie, what's your earliest childhood memory?
I love it. Earliest childhood memory. Ooh. I don't know, Angel. What do people say? I have to think about. I have one.
There we go.
When I was like 7 or 8 years old, I was at dinner with my entire family in the city in New York, and next to us was Joe DiMaggio, who's like a super famous Yankees Hall of Famer. And I had no idea who he was at the time. And earlier that day, I went to a Yankee game and I met Derek Jeter. So it was like so freaking cool to meet two Hall of Famers now that I look back on it in one day.
Why do you think this memory is so clear?
Because it was just such a cool experience. Like, everybody made it such a big deal. I was forever a Yankee fan, and like my whole family was like, "Oh my God, this is like something you will remember forever," because they'll all be in the Hall of Fame. So it was a very cool experience.
How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
Wow, very deep. I would say that it really has allowed me. So essentially, my family was like, "Oh my God, you know, let him eat his dinner. Like, don't bother him." And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go over there. I'm going to go over there and just introduce myself. So I think that speaks to my personality to this day, that I'm just a risk taker. And because I've taken risks, it's led to my growth.
That's amazing. Can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created?
For sure.
In my mind? Well, that is amazing. I love the concept of Next on Scene. And like, it happened to you that day. Of course, you were in two scenes, but you were the next on scene.
I love it.
They weren't even the people that were the stars. Truly, you are. And I believe in life, individuals should understand that they are a star in their story, just like you are, you know, with your podcast and getting out there. And it's fascinating to see that you've chosen to interview people that will be next on scene. And that's super cool.
I love that. What a great analogy.
Well, thank you. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
12 years old. Oh my God. Well, you were playing Backstreet Boys. All things Backstreet Boys and NSYNC were my freaking jam. And Spice Girls, that was like my jam.
Love it. All right, my friend. Well, we have arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready?
Ready.
Jackie, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Ooh, yes.
Are you married?
Yes.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
At night. Yeah. Yes. Sorry. Yes or no?
What about screen time? The phone and the computer. Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
More. Yes or no? I would say yes.
All right. What about screen time? I said screen time, yeah? I was about to say something and the mind goes so fast sometimes. What about reading? How often do you read?
Actually, well, wait, is this a yes or no question?
No, you could go on with this one.
I try to read every morning for about 10-15 minutes. I read chapters in a book and I do like work, like gratitude journaling.
That's super cool. Has that been beneficial?
Love it. Seen miracles happen.
Love it. All right, my friend. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Jaclyn Zukerman, what would you say that is?
I'm reliable.
So powerful in 3 words, yeah? I am reliable. All right, my friend. This has been such a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I know. No, Angel, this has been such a pleasure, and I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
It was such a great pleasure, a pleasure I treasure. Jackie Zukerman, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazel Enterprise.